Thank you for joining me today. I have a story I want to share with you. This is a Dogmen story. It is not mine. I hope you enjoy. On April 23rd, 2016, I was out at my grandparents' house, hunting coyotes, as usual, this time of year. I was hiking through my next-door neighbor's land to get to the wood-covered land in the back. While I was hiking, I got the feeling I was being followed by something to my right. I stopped and switched the red tint on my headlamp to my spotlight, but didn't see anything. Then I switched back to my headlamp and pulled my rifle back up and continued my hike. It was 6:15 a.m. and the sun was just coming up. I was sitting in a hide I'd made the day before. That's when I saw something behind a group of trees on my left. It was crouched. I raised my rifle, looked through my scope, and I froze when I saw the creature staring back at me. I panicked. I fired off a shot. That's when it stood up and took off, deeper into the woods. I sat there probably another 25 minutes before I decided it was safe to head in, and did so. Later that day, I grabbed my grandfather and we both went out to where I'd seen the creature when it stood up on two legs and took off. We measured where I had seen it, and it was roughly 7.5 feet tall. To this day, I'm terrified to go out at night or even in the early morning hours. I have another story for you. Thank you guys for staying with me. This story comes from Collin County, Texas. Actually, not far from where I am. The person reporting this story is named Jeff. And the title is Dogman in Collin County, Texas. On April 4th of this year, 2018, I came back from work around midnight. And like most nights, I sat down on my back porch and I lit a cigarette and just relaxed. However, unlike most nights, I heard something new. Now, I'm used to coyotes and my neighbor's dogs barking, but in this case, I heard something. And this something was completely new. It sounded like a deep howl, but instead of the usual dog sound, it stayed as one tone. And it was octaves deeper. I heard it go from backyard to backyard, and the neighbor's dogs took notice. The dog's barking triggered one of my dogs to run out to the fence line, and she began to bark at something unseen. Well, at least from my perspective. I got up and I told her, "Hey, come back in, girl. It's okay." She turned to me and she sat there utterly frozen in fear. Wow. Took a few minutes to break her out of this, and she bolted to the back door. I decided to poke my head out of the gate and look into the field behind the fence. By the tree line, I saw these amber-colored eyes standing about 5 feet above the ground. I decided to run in, and I took up my knife and I ran out in the direction of the eyes. The whole time I walked, I heard these howls. However, though, when I got close to where I initially saw the eyes, every sound stopped. You could literally hear a pin drop. Where I didn't see anything, I felt the presence of something watching me. After a few moments, I walked back to the porch and I sat and, well, I had another smoke. It was then the howls started again. This time, though, they came from my neighbor's backyard. They have 2 shepherds, and I will never forget this sound. I first heard this guttural growl noise, unlike anything I've heard before. Then one of the shepherds shrieked, and then I heard the other get slammed against the fence. One thing led to another, and I heard my neighbor fire off a round, and then I heard this thing trail off. The next encounter was just 3 nights ago. I heard the howls start up again, but this time I heard it making its way through the tree line behind the back lot of my house. I heard the thumping of its feet, and branches were snapping. My instincts kicked in to get to cover, so I shut off the back porch light and I allowed my eyes to get adjusted. But there was enough light to see clearly the opening in the tree line that's about 2 of me wide and about 9+ feet high. I watched in the direction where the noises were coming from, and then all of a sudden I see it stand up. I first saw these ears, tall and sharp like knives. I then saw its head, followed by broad shoulders and long arms. It stood there watching me for what seemed like forever until it turned, ducked down a little, and took massive strides on 2 legs to walk off. It's because of this I've been conducting an investigation on this thing. I learned there was another encounter in Firestone County, not very far from me. I hope to get reasonable evidence very soon. date of this encounter was April 23rd, 2018 at 4 a.m. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. God bless.